Should Spurs sack Postecoglou? Yes or no?
I think so. I think maybe you give him to the end of the year, but the tactical stubbornness that we've seen from him, I think is a little bit of an indictment of his staying power in the Prem. And we can expand upon that, but 30 seconds. So
Okay, Connor.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'll go to war about this. Now, I've got receipts, I've got stats, but I don't think you could put this on this poor man if he does not have the squad that he was excelling with. Everybody said that Spurs were the new big thing until everybody started dropping like flies, and we haven't seen it back since. And frankly, if you have an injury list like this, I don't even know if City or Chelsea has the buying power to replace folks like that. So no, I think if they sack him, they might. They very much might. You know how Spurs love a scapegoat. But if they do, I think you got to start looking at the institution.
Oh, I've been looking at the institution. Let me just go off here. Hayden, to address your he's too stuck to his philosophy. Well, I don't disagree. I don't think that's a bad thing, personally. I think if you look at how Spurs have played with our first team under Postecoglou's philosophy, it was pretty damn good. It was pretty exciting. We've been absolutely decimated by injuries this season. And I feel like if Pep Guardiola and Manchester City get to use that as an excuse for a drop in performance, surely Spurs get to do the same. We have had 9 games this season with our starting CBs. Mickey Van de Ven and Coutinho Romero. We have played Dragusin almost 20 games this season. He's probably had one good game against Liverpool in the Cup at home. Archie Gray, we signed him as a right back. He's 18 years old. This kid ain't supposed to play for 2 years. He's got 9 starts in a row, 10 starts today as a center back. And I don't know if you guys have seen Spurs form recently. We're not winning a lot of those 10 games. Okay. Pape Sarr in the midfield. Supposed to be next great midfielder out of Africa. Dude's been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Bentancur's getting hurt every other day. Solanke's kind of coming good, but not nearly good enough for the price tag.
And he's out for 6 weeks.
He's out for 6 weeks. There's clearly issues with the roster here. Jed Spence. Let me go to Jed Spence now. Jed Spence was deemed not good enough by Antonio Conte. We loaned his ass out twice. And now he's a crucial piece of our starting 11 under Postecoglou because there ain't nobody else. So if Antonio Conte, who might win Serie A with Napoli, is saying this kid is not good enough, get him out of my sight, and now we're having to rely on him, what do people expect? This is my biggest issue with the Ange out crowd. What do you expect and what do you want to see happen? Because I don't really know what the solution is if you sack Postecoglou. And I don't think we've seen a 180 like this in terms of how the fans feel about the manager, maybe ever. Because 8 months ago, this guy was the Australian Messiah. He was the second coming of Pochettino. He was, Unk was back on the touchline. The vibes were as high as they were probably since 2014, 2015. We were sailing. And now because of, albeit a very bad domestic season in the Premier League, y'all dumbasses want him out? Are you serious? Because now this is what I see, all right? You want Areola from Bournemouth. Oh, okay. So you want another manager who's outperforming at a smaller club in the Premier League. Because we tried that already. Twice. Mauricio Pochettino and Nuno Espirito Santo. How did that work out? How many trophies did we win? 0. Oh, we need to go and get a winner. Oh, you mean like Jose Mourinho, bro? Oh, you mean like Antonio Conte? Yeah, how did that work out? How many trophies did we get? 0. So we've tried everything, but now we want to double back? We want to go for another up-and-coming promising manager? We're not going to stick with the guy that's won trophies at international level, at Asian club level, at European club level. You know how difficult it is to do that? You know how rare it is for somebody to win everywhere they go? And you want to get rid of this guy because we're playing Archie effing Gray at center back? We don't even have Vicario in goal, bro. We had to sign some random Nordic guy. and you want to get rid of him, who is making top 4 with this squad? Who is making top 4? As far as I'm concerned, I want my ass with the season. Who cares? It's a wash. Focus on the cup. Focus on the Europa League.
You know what I think the real answer is here? I
What's
think
the real answer?
that there's a lot of I think you're both right in a certain sense. I would personally stick with him, but what really matters, like, give a damn about the fans, give a damn about the infrastructure. I'll give a damn what I think, what you think, whatever. I do not care. If he loses the locker room, they're not going to respect him when the lineup comes back. So if he loses the locker room, if 9 out of 10 players or what? No, screw it. 7 out of 10 players say, you know what? I don't really trust him anymore. That's when you get rid of him. But right now, if you can get this lineup back, if you can get him, if you can finish this year, top half of the table, make sure everybody's good over the summer, start next year strong, I think you're going to see really awesome, excellent results. But if he loses the locker room, I think that's when you take a moment and you say, okay, the Levy propaganda has worked. Get him out. But I think it's an institutional problem before it is
100%.
an age problem or before it's a personnel problem. And you can see that to your point, Jack, when they were talking about Hoffenheim, they were interviewing him after the win against Hoffenheim, which was 3-2, very dramatic, insane. He's playing 5 teenagers. Dude, I don't recognize probably seven of the players there. It's insane. Now, Antonio Conte, first with Napoli, Jose Mourinho, second, and Nuno Espirito Santo. We all familiar with his accolades at Nottingham Forest now, right? It has never been a managerial issue. It has never been a personnel issue. Heung-min Son has scored 10 plus goals in the last, 10 seasons that he's been there or what have you. Like, the stats on Twitter and FODMOB are insane. They're insane. Get this man some help and give him some time. What I'm really scared of is that all of this, like, shitstorm that's being populated right now on the internet about Ange out, I really feel like this is Daniel Levy gearing up to scapegoat Poch.
Of course it is.
That is my, like, I don't even know. What is it? It's my
Conspiracy
theory. Yes, thank you. God. That is my conspiracy theory about this whole thing, is that we're looking to scapegoat him, and that's terrifying because he's going to go to another club. You switch him and Areola, I bet you Bournemouth goes crazy next year.
If we sack Ange, he's going to go to a smaller league in Europe and win a trophy. I promise you. Or he's going to go back to Asia and win the Asian Champions League with goddamn Melbourne FC. I swear to God. Like, that's what's going to happen. And how many times are we going to see this movie? I'm so you say, Connor, that we all know this is Daniel Levy trying to scapegoat. Then why are all these dumbasses online still blaming the coach? If the coach doesn't matter, why do you want him sacked? Somebody answer that for me. I don't understand, because we sacked Conte, we sacked Mourinho because we didn't like the play style. It wasn't pretty enough. It was too boring. Okay. Well, we got the guy who plays arguably the prettiest football in Europe, maybe outside of Hansi fucking Flick, and now you guys want him out again. Oh, I thought it was about the play style. This is why I'm so glad I'm an American and I don't have to deal with the British Hotspur fan base. They're idiots, man. Entitled brats. What do you want? You move the goalpost every time you get a new manager in. And after 18 months, you want him sacked. Nobody's won. The most accomplished managers in the world have not won. So who are you going to bring in? Klopp's not coming. He ain't signing for Spurs, homie. What do you want? Do you want pretty football with deep runs in the cup? By the way, we're still in the Europa League and we're still in the Carabao Cup. What if he gets a trophy there? Are you still going to sack him because we're 14th in the Prem? Last time I checked, I don't think it really matters if you finish 9th or 12th or 13th. Who cares? We're not winning the Prem. You morons. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? Nottingham Forest have been invincible. Invincible, and they have no shot of winning the Prem. Bournemouth is the best team they've ever had. No shot of winning the Prem. Arsenal are year 5 of the Arteta project. They're not winning the Prem. But Postecoglou is supposed to do it in a year? You guys are idiots. I'm so sorry. Like, zero ball knowledge from that part of the fan base, dude. I'm so heated right now. I'm literally sweating. I'm so mad of seeing all these dumb opinions online. There's no plan. Y'all just want to see a goddamn revolving door of coaches. Like, this is the goddamn NBA.
Hayden,
Also, if he loses the locker room,
time.
if somebody doesn't like him, sell his ass. Imagine when João Cancelo said, I don't like Pep. Imagine the City board saying, Pep, you got to go. Cancelo doesn't like you. Sell his ass. What are you doing? You're going to back a player over the manager?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
No, speaking of which, what's going on with my boy Madison?
What do you mean? He's probably been one of our better players this season.
He has, but he's not starting, and he wasn't in the lineup today. I didn't see him on the injury list.
He's coming back from an injury. There was a whole thing.
Okay,
Did you see
okay.
he went to a darts competition and the fans were mad? They were mad that he went to a darts competition. It's like fans think that these footballers are just in the weight room when they're not playing football, just doing leg extensions for 8 hours a day. I mean, it's insane. It's madness to me. It just pisses me off that we have a guy who breathes the essence of the club. Nobody at Spurs wants Spurs to be better and succeed more than Postecoglou. And if you cannot see that, you're a moron. You're just a sheep, dude.
He's instituting a personality and an operation and a vibe at Spurs that we haven't seen since probably early days of Mourinho, whenever the documentary came out.
Probably Pochettino, because Mourinho was like, we're going to be the bad guys. That Mourinho clearly said, I think it's in the, what's it called? The series where you go behind the scenes, All or Nothing.
All or Nothing, yeah.
I mean, he basically called the players pussies. He said, you guys are soft. Nobody respects you. Nobody's scared of you. So that's what he tried to do. I think Postecoglou's trying to do it more the Poch way, which is like, we're going to kill you with how we play. We're not going to become the Atletico Madrid, Getafe, Everton of the Prem. We're going to ball out on you. That's kind of what he's trying to do. Clearly, have you seen us play? Our line is past midfield every single game.
Listen, in the interest of our friendship, Jack, I am receding my take. Keep him around, okay?
No, I respect you. You don't have to.
Keep him around. No. It's fine. I don't want any trouble here. It's okay.
Oh, God. Look out for the public statement from Deadball TV. Hayden will not be returned. We've agreed to mutually part ways.
God.
You know, I'll say this. Actually, I'm not going to say it. I want your opinion on this. Do you think Postecoglou is getting this much heat for his quote when he said, I always win things in my second season? Do you think that is the genesis of this? I would say even portions of the league rooting against him.
Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares? Who
Chelsea
gives
fans, Arsenal fans.
I don't banter, Jack. You got to let that go. It's just banter. It doesn't.
Maybe it is. For me, it's not even banter. It's like what he stated was a fact, and people are acting like he's some guy drowning from his own hubris. It's like Kevin Durant saying nobody can guard me. Is he an asshole, or can nobody guard Kevin Durant? You know what I'm saying? Like what he's factual.
We have had manager after manager after manager come through at Spurs and say something's wrong here. And they're all doing well now. So at a certain point, you have to look at the least common denominator. And frankly, Chelsea fans, you guys are 2 years away from the same financial allegation issues that City's facing right now. You've got problems at home. Take care of your own borders, and then we can start looking at Tottenham. Because guess what? This wiped Tottenham team is probably still going to give you a run for their money whenever you guys meet. God forbid Van de Ven comes back. Then you're in real trouble because Nicholas Jackson, he's not scoring goals anymore. They've got their own issues is what I'm saying. Haters, a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
There comes a point when you have to start believing the manager, and there has to be enough of an issue to institute change, right? Where it matters. And that is, I don't know if getting rid of Daniel Levy's going to change anything, right? It's still a conglomerate at the heart of it, and they're interested in finances, right? So
It's
they're
the
okay with
ownership
this.
that would have to change. Yeah.
It's the ownership that would change. I don't know that Daniel Levy's doing all that bad of a job.
But I do
I
think
Financially, no.
if they fire Daniel Levy, at least that's a shot at the bow to signal to the outside world we have some serious people here, and we're willing to look at every possible way to get better. He seems to have the safest job in Europe, frankly.
He does. He does because this is the thing with Spurs. The objective has never been to win.
Yeah.
Ever. Not since before Enoch showed up and bought the club. It's about profit. I hear Dortmund fans say the same thing. We are optimizing the club for commercial value, not for trophies. So, yes, Daniel Levy's job is one of the safest in world football because he has transformed Spurs into a financial monster. I'm pretty sure Spurs have the most expensive season ticket in the Prem. And this is where I will end my tirade because I really need to get some Spurs fans on here and just debate because I'm sick of this shit. I'm approaching the point where Postecoglou deserves better than Tottenham, not the other way around. How dare you disrespect this man who has won everywhere he's gone? How dare you disrespect him and say he's not good enough? What data point do you have to suggest that? See, what is the data point to say Spurs are too big for Postecoglou? Season ticket prices. That's it. That's what makes Spurs a big club. How expensive it is. This club has leached the generational talent that is Son Heung-min to remain relevant. And guess what? Now he's 30, 31 years old. He's getting tired of carrying this club on his back. And we're seeing that. Final thing I'll say, Man City, you guys are trying to bounce back. What do you do in the January transfer window? You sign the hottest forward in the Bundesliga, Omar Marmoush, for $75 million. What does Spurs do to reinforce Postecoglou in his second season, where he always wins a trophy? We sign 18-year-old Lucas Bergvall and Archie Gray, an 18-year-old right back.
Let's go.
Like, I'm sorry. Does those seem like win now signings? Yes, I know we got Solanke. It takes more than Dominic Solanke, who had one good year at Bournemouth, to take Spurs from where we were to winning the Prem. It ain't about winning, dude. It's not about winning. Honestly, the more I talk about this, the more I want Postecoglou to leave. Just to go ball out somewhere else.
It feels really bad, but you start looking at these players, and I mean, dude, when I heard that Romero was getting interest from like Real Madrid, my first thought was, go. You know what Heung-min's son and Romero would be doing? God forbid you said Heung-min's son to Serie A. Oh my God.
Dude, if Real Madrid rolled out a back line of Kuti and Rudiger or Kuti and Militao, I mean, it's done. It's done.
Done.
And all of you phony ass fans would be like, oh, maybe Kuti is one of the best defenders. But he gets no clout because he's a Spurs 14th in the table.
Yeah.
Even though he's played 12 games. People don't check context. So I've had enough, bro. I mean, I would give Postecoglou a 10-year extension and just, in fact, I'd give him full transfer policy control and just let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing. He's playing just as ballsy football as Hansi Flick is doing in La Liga with Barcelona. The difference is one team is Barcelona, the second or first most talented team in La Liga, and Tottenham Hotspur are nowhere near the most talented club in the Premier League. That's the difference.